with doing a couple of classes a week.
Allow us to journey into these altered states.
It really whacked me psyche though, big time.
If you just sit reading books, it's the shadow because you're not going to be in your body.
Welcome to Creating Space, bringing people together. Real conversations with real people, telling stories and sharing our gifts right here in the heart of Liverpool, inspiring new ideas, education and co-creation.
Choose a challenge that lights you up and is going to make a difference in the world.
Creating Space.
Sponsored by the Scouse Guru app.
Hello and welcome back to Creating Space. My name is Martin Bone and this is episode 6. Today I've got a really great conversation with two wonderful fellas in the studio. Really great friends of mine actually. These guys have known each other for a long time. And grown up together in Liverpool, and I've met these guys probably about a year ago, and I really consider these men good friends of mine now, and we're going on a lovely journey together. So we've got Chris Brown. Chris is a father of 3 from Liverpool. He runs his own Gourmet Social Enterprise, which is a community interest company based here in the heart of Liverpool. It provides meals during the school holidays for underprivileged children who would normally rely on a school meal. It's not always been singing and dancing for Chris. He actually served 5.5 years of a jail sentence, of an 11-year jail sentence for conspiracy to Class A drugs, and was released in 2018. So got a really great story to tell. I'm looking forward to sharing that today. We've also got Mike Smith here, an entrepreneur, leader, founder and CEO of Open Media. Mike is born and bred from Liverpool and has a real passion for business and leadership. He's won countless awards across the Northwest for Business Leader of the Year and Best Business of the Year. He's a dedicated family man with 2 young children. Fellas, welcome to Planet Yoga.
Thanks a lot for having us, Martin.
Yeah,
same here. Always, especially this room. It's just one of my favourite places, and thanks for having us.
Yeah, lovely. We've already had our little meeting this morning, haven't we? We tend to meet each week on a Wednesday, and it's 5 a.m. So we've been out this morning, been walking. It was a little bit chilly, but it's nice, always nice and fresh, isn't it?
The 5 a.m. club.
But the 5 a.m. club on a Wednesday turns into the 4 a.m. club because I've got a 30-minute drive to get to Sefton Park. So but you're a 4 a.m. man now, aren't you?
Yeah, it started off at like 6 and then 5 and then now it's got to 4 a.m. I'm in bed nice and early. My missus doesn't like that too much. But yeah, I'm in bed by about 9, half 9. But yeah, 4 a.m. I'm up and ready, and then start getting out and doing some daily activities, whether that's going to the gym or catching up with you guys and doing a couple of walks around Sefton Park. But yeah, it's been a daily routine for me for about 2 or 3 years now, and I think as we've always spoke about in the meditation, Martin, it's like the ultimate morning. That's so important for me in my daily routine now. And if I have a bad day, or I've been on the ale, or I've had a hangover and I don't get that early morning routine in, I can definitely feel it throughout the day. I
mean, by the sound of your credentials, Mike, there's a lot going on for you there. So getting to bed early and rising early, I feel it like it's a man thing, to be honest with you. But having to really create space for oneself, because by the sounds of it, you've got a really busy professional life. So as you said, getting up earlier and earlier, it's just creating space for you to obviously feel into yourself, charge oneself, feel into some maybe mental fitness, mental training with the meditation. I know you go to the gym a lot, you look great. And just creating that space to be as productive and efficient as possible, in your working life. So 4 a.m, that's, that for me, that's still the middle of the night, you know what I mean?
It used to be maybe like 5 years ago, we'd be coming out of Elbridge from Garland or something. now it's up of a morning. But I think it stemmed from, maybe like three years ago now, from, when I went through a bit of a bad time with my business career, which I can talk more about. But but yeah, I'm one of them people who I like to have structure. I like to have a routine, and once I've got it in place, I'll stick to that then. And I want to see. I like to see the small steps and small results follow.
Yeah, that, lovely. And how long have you been? Is it a consistent thing, like getting up at 4 a.m? You know, because I know we're a part of a bigger group. You know, the 3%, which I'm looking forward to diving into, and sometimes each day people are posting, you know, motivational videos and inspiring quotes, and Mike Smith comes on and it's like 1 minute past 4 and he's posting something. I'm like, what's this guy up to here? You know what I mean? Yeah,
it's definitely been, I'd say now, consistent for a good 2 to 3 years. Is when it's between definitely over the last 2 years it's been 5 a.m. and then I've been up in my game and getting up at that 4 a.m. mark. But again, that stemmed from, I think, going through a tough time in business, and then starting to research and read what, you know, all these entrepreneurs and business owners and leaders are doing across the world, and then just adapting that really, and changing my lifestyle, because you know, business and leadership, it's an actual lifestyle. You know, absolutely. It can't just be done, you know, once a week or twice a week. You know, you have to be consistent with it. You have to put your 100% to it. Otherwise, you're never going to see the results. Yeah,
there's a great book, isn't there, by, you know, Robin Sharma, the 5 a.m. Club. Yeah, I'm sure you've read that and you've been inspired by that way of life, you know, that lifestyle, building new healthy habits, getting up early, you know, and you're not just getting off the front foot and creating momentum, but again, as I said before, you're just creating space for you to breathe into your day, you know. Definitely. And obviously I think preparation is such an important part of what you're doing, you know, here in Liverpool. So what does it consist of? By, you know, like you're up at 4 a.m. What does that look like for you?
So my daily routine now, Mart, is I'll rise at 4 a.m. I'll get up and I'll do some I'll say a small little prayer, do some affirmations, make sure I get them in straight away. I'll then maybe read a chapter of a book I'm currently reading. Mm-hmm. Get some you know, some time in doing that, and then I'm up and I'm in the gym then for 5 a.m. in the morning. So I'll drive into town to the Baltic and to No Limits. I'll do 45 minutes to an hour session, and then I'll be back into the house then, get the kids awake, and away we go. It depends on what days I'm in the gym and what days I'm not in the gym. So if I'm not in the gym, then I'll replace the gym session with a meditation or a breathing session.
Lovely.
So I'll make sure that, you know, I've got a nice balance in that. Yeah, lovely. And I'm not doing too much. I'll get home, and obviously because I've been following Wim Hof for a couple of years, and I'll make sure I get that cold exposure. And get a nice cold shower.
Yeah, lovely. Seems to be an in thing at the moment, isn't it? And it's really expanding into, like, not just the consciousness, but a lot of people's lives, you know, people feeling into Wim Hof. And I know you've just been to Poland, you know, and you've actually been with the main man himself, which I'm looking forward to diving into shortly. Let's just bring Chris into the conversation for a moment. You know, we do meet every Wednesday, Chris, and we have been for like the past year, and we have a lovely walk around Sefton Park as a gang. You know, 45 minutes, we're connecting, aren't we? You know, we're getting some fresh air. And there's a great support structure, and then we tend to go for a workout, don't we, at Harriet McGuffey's, you know, on Walton Road at 6 a.m. How does your morning routine look? You know, I'm guessing like you're up yourself.
Yeah, well, I mean, since I come home on the 23rd of November, come home from prison on 23rd of November 2018, and dive straight into work, up early, and I wasn't really aware of the 5 a.m. club and you know, the practices Mike's been talking about, but me and Mike have been friends for a long time, and Mike was at a group chat called the 5 a.m. club from friends, and there's 5 of us in it. Yeah. And he added me into that, and that was from November 18, and since then I think it's been instrumental in everything I've done. Yeah. From, you know, I'm not quite at the 4 a.m. stage now, but I'm up at 5. Yeah, do a little bit of practice in the morning, and then I'll go to work then. I do mine slightly different because I saw I train in a CrossFit gym, and it's open at 6:30. So what I'll do, I'll get up in the morning, do a little bit of practice, maybe a bit of reading, then I'll go into work then, and then I'll set up in work, get everything switched on, and then I'll go to the gym and I'll come back. So that's how my morning structure works. And as I say, it's been it's been instrumental for me, really. It's been a game changer. Something I was never aware of, but it's something I just sort of naturally done when I come home. I knew I had to get up early, and knew I had to be out and ready, and I knew lying in bed 7 o'clock in the morning wasn't going to get me to where I wanted to go.
Yeah, wow. And, you know, you were mentioning prison there, and let's really lean into that for a moment, because, you know, you wasn't in there for a short time by the sounds of it, you know what I mean? And, you know, do you remember the day you were sentenced? You know, because to get 11 years, it's a, you know, obviously.
I remember the day I got arrested. That was the most, because 1 minute you're
in your own flow, aren't you?
You're in your own flow, you're in this bubble, you're just, nothing can touch you, everything's fantastic, and the next thing, just the rug's pulled.
Yeah, you got your collar felt, and that was it.
It's just over.
Yeah.
You know it's over.
Wow.
And you know what I got arrested for, and, you know, roundabout, it's double figures.
Yeah.
I knew it wasn't going to be, it takes about 9 months to sort of get into the mode of like, right, I'm in jail here.
Getting your head round it.
Yeah, it's just like, but you just adapt. It's crazy what your body can do.
Yeah.
You really do. It's just your next thing, you're in your routine, you're in your gym, and you got your little job, and it's all bullshit, by the way. It's not, there's nothing good about it. And then you're looking forward then to you getting sentenced. You find out exactly what you got. I was on remand for 12 months.
Yeah.
Then I got sentenced, and then it's like, okay. Then you got little goals then of like,
yeah.
I'll get me cat seal, I'll get me cat deal, and I can start coming home, and you aim for them.
Yeah, I think when you actually get sentenced, that's the day, I suppose, you're free, aren't you? Because you know exactly what you've got. You know the road ahead.
Of course.
You know, and then you can start actually planning for the future. You know, and I suppose to a degree, you know, when men go to prison, it can go one way or the other, can't it? You know what I mean? And by the sounds of it, you know, you were in prison, and you started already making some future plans. You know, you're looking forward to your life, you know, and to an exciting life. And by the sounds of it, you know, the things that have been unfolding since that have been incredible. But what was life like in jail? Where did you get moved about? And
you basically, because I got over a certain amount of time, you start in a higher security jail, and your risk lows, and you come down the categories and stuff like that. But it's just not a nice place. I mean, people who say they like it, there's something wrong with them. It's just, your arms and legs are chopped off, you've got nothing. You really are.
Your liberties, your sovereignty.
You're relying on people outside to help you, and it's just not worth it.
Yeah.
So anyone who's involved in crime, or they're involved in anything, it's just, for what the potentials of what you can lose, it's not worth it. It really isn't.
But at the same time, you obviously gained a lot of
100%. I wouldn't change it I mean, I wouldn't change what happened, because I wouldn't be where I am today.
Yeah.
And I've grown massively from it. I've got a lot of direction and clarity, and a lot of time to think. I've done all my catering qualifications inside, which have stood me in good stead. And it was a massive part of my life, and it's, as I say, it's got me to where I am today.
Yeah, lovely. So you came out, and what was the first steps? You know, you obviously got some qualifications inside, you'd had this experience, there was actually time for you to contemplate. I think nowadays, because modern times is so quick, we don't really take a step back and have a good look at our lives, do we? And, you know, and people end up just flowing into things, and, you know, it's quick, it's easy come, easy go, in it. You know, it's the flash life. You know, you're very much like swept into the whole, you know, the glitz and glamour, the razzmatazz of maybe that way of being. Do you know what I mean? And I suppose a lot of, for me, you know, looking from the outside in, you know, maybe there's just sort of no respect even, you know, for money and things like that. You know what I mean? And for certain aspects of life. And so, you know, you came out, you know, you had these qualifications, you had this time to think. What was the route then, you know?
But it was more, Martin, it was more in the last year when I was in open prison. I was spending a lot of time just by myself, writing things down, writing ideas down, direction of where I wanted to go. I knew I wanted to do something.
Yeah.
Some type of social impact.
Yeah, lovely.
And something to do with catering. The first idea he had was it was always going to be a cafe restaurant, and it was to feed homeless people, and I have a concept where I wanted to be in the city centre and I wanted to open them all over the country, and I had all these phenomenal plans and ideas, and then the cafe just fell on my lap out of nowhere, as things do.
Yeah. Because a lot of men who go to jail, they're actually very, very smart men, aren't they?
Yeah,
you know,
of
some
course,
of them are incredibly intelligent, you know, and they're just obviously, you know, using a product which, you know, at the level of, you know, society, that is illegal. Do you know what I mean? But by the sounds of it, you were using your qualities as a man, you know, to actually do something which was completely and utterly above board, and using your skills and talents to actually make a difference. Was you inspired by people in the jail, or was you just inspired by your own experience, you know, being a Scouse lad, coming from Liverpool, listening to your own reason, and maybe, you know, knowing the likes of men like Mike and other people around you, you know, seeing them doing well in their endeavours, there must have been obviously some inspiration from 100%. Other people, and then obviously from yourself for thinking, I'm better than this.
100%, yeah. It was, I mean, I was back online, if you like to speak, and I was in OpenJ because the phones are pretty abundant in there, and back on Instagram looking, checking what people are doing, and obviously I've linked back in with Mike and seeing how well things were going for him, and I was just, I always knew I was never going to go back to doing what I was doing, and it was just, I say the cafe just fell on my lap, and then when I was coming on home leaves, I was going into town making like 70 portions of scouse and soup and just handing them out to homeless people, and Mike's kicked in with me and went, oh, there's an event Ryan Dooley's putting on, come together, you need to come to it. That was in the October thing, wasn't it?
That was, yeah.
Yeah, and then I got Baby E, so I went there, and first time I met Dools, and like I was, like, it was just great, and then I was going home, going back to jail the next day, and then I'm like, oh, that was in September, rather. September. Then in October, I was home again for 5 days. I arranged another thing in town. Dools got involved, and all the people, we'd done like 100 meals. Wow. And then it just all sort of, like, it was all geared up to when I was getting released on the 23rd of November. And I sort of had this light bulb moment, and I thought, what I'm doing here is not really making a dent. There's a lot of people feeding homeless people. There's a lot of organisations, a lot of help. You know, am I really making a difference here? And I thought, no, I'm not. And I thought, if I step out of it, will this make any type of impact? No. So I was doing a lot of research into holiday hunger and how it's a real problem, and particularly where my cafe is in Netherton, it's a really deprived area. And then that was November till December, and then space of 4 weeks, that's when holiday hunger was born, and we got the first school on board. And it's just been a roller coaster from there.
So you've been out for nearly over 2 years now.
No, I haven't. I've been out 14 months.
Yeah, 14 months.
Yeah.
And the process then of being released and holiday hunger, you know, a birthing of that social enterprise. What does it look like today?
What it looks like today is we fed 22,000 meals in 2019.
Wow.
We're looking on hitting between 40 and 60,000 this year. From one small school with 15 children who we were delivering food to the houses in Christmas last year. The end of 2018, January 2019. We've gone from 15 children to serving 12 community centres around Liverpool.
Wow.
Where it's more on an industrial scale. Like for Granby Street, we'll send 80 meals there, Dingle 75, Fountains Road 75. So the children now can go to the community centres. The centre managers identify who's the most vulnerable families. Then they will then in turn give them meals to them families who need it the most.
Wow.
So yeah, in the space of a year, it's gone from one school to
amazing.
That many.
What an incredible story, you know what I mean? And you know, just there's an element here of which is really inspiring me that, you know, anything's possible in a short space of time, isn't it? You know what I mean? And obviously having that time to really be inspired to actually come out and do something great, you know what I mean? And but you've gone big, you've gone enormous, do you know what I mean? And noticing that actually you matter to the world and you've got incredible unique gifts and talents that can serve so many people, and you've hit that niche, you know, holiday hunger. And who's backing you? You know, so, you know, is the council? I know you've been sitting on a table with Joe Anderson's.
That's right, yeah. It started off just in Sefton. So the original concept of the whole idea was we're a social enterprise, so we reinvest our profits into holiday hunger. So originally we didn't get no funding, so I was capped at like 75 kids a day to feed from Sefton. Then when Joe got involved in the summer, introduced the community centre in Liverpool, it was sort of, right, we're going to do this on a big scale, we're going to get behind you. So I draw money now off called the Mayor's Hope Fund, which is a charity. But still the Sefton side of things don't get number for, but the cafe's doing really well, so we're quite comfortable there now. So I've got massive backing off the council. They've backed me for the big project we're going to be starting next couple of weeks for a restaurant in the Q&R building.
And that's in the Liverpool City Centre, isn't it?
So Holiday Hunger Liverpool is going to be getting done from there with this exactly the same model that we operate in Sefton, for it to be fully sustainable by the end of next year and not need to draw no money off the Hope Fund.
Wow.
And then what we've said we're going to do is after year one is we're going to pay 5% back into the Hope Fund for what they've given us so far to get us to this stage.
Wow.
So we're going to give it back.
Wow.
And yeah, it's just so simple what we're doing. Like, it's not complicated. Yeah. We're really good at making money from the restaurants and the cafes, and the more money we make, the more kids we can feed, and then whatever's left over at Christmas, we'll go into the kitty to go and buy loads of toys and gift cards and hampers, and that's just
because I know you've done a big campaign over the Christmas period, didn't you?
Yeah.
You know, just gone, and there was this massive campaign of toys.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And there was, you know, there was so many people who got involved, and then
mind blowing.
Yeah, I mean, you know, what was the numbers like toys wise?
There was like 2,500 toys, around £10 each. There was £3,000 in Liverpool One gift vouchers, and we done 360 hampers. They were funded partly by the council to go to the community centre, because all the centres that we serve on the 21st of December, they shut. So in the way we feed the children during the holidays and during the half terms, it can't happen over Christmas via the centres because they're just shut.
Yeah.
So we come up with the idea of giving each family a big hamper to get them through, a little head start, if you like, for Christmas.
Yeah.
And there was everything in them, from toiletries, sanitary products, food, drinks. It was just selection. It was just, they were worth about 50 quid each.
Wow.
So we just divided all the toys up, I'd say equally, but there was that many of them, we just put them all into piles.
Yeah.
We had visions for it to put them boys, girls, age groups and all that, and in the end we just went, listen, that pile's for them. There was that much.
Yeah, and you're obviously providing jobs for people as well now, aren't you? You know what I mean? You know, how many have you got on your staff?
I've got 6 at the Marion Square site now, and we're going to take 15 on in Q&R.
Wow.
10 to 15.
Growing exponentially, and it's a win-win, and obviously it's aligned with your values. It's something that you love to do. It's an idea, you know, you're putting it into action, these values of service, you know, and helping young kids, you know, helping, you know, areas that are completely underprivileged, and again, within a short space of time, making a huge difference, a massive wave of goodness moving through the city.
Back to what I was saying before about stepping out of the homeless thing. If I stepped out of this now, there'd be a massive void.
Yeah.
If we stopped doing this today, it'd be a massive problem. So like, that's why I knew feeding homeless people wasn't really going to make a difference.
Yeah.
And yeah, there's not one part of the whole pie you can look at where you can draw any negatives. The funding is either coming from our money that we make, or the Mayor's Hope Fund, the charity, not coming off public money.
Yeah.
The people who volunteer for it, from all my friends have volunteered, they get so much out of it by helping. They thank me for helping.
Absolutely.
The children who get
brings
fed,
people together, don't it?
Yeah, the children who get fed, they're obviously, the ones main. The parents are benefiting because they've got less pressure on them to provide these, you know, payday loans and whatever they've done at Christmas.
The ripple effect is huge.
Just every part of the whole jigsaw, you can't really take any negative from it. I don't think, I've not found any. So for me, you can't get better than that.
It's quite remarkable, really, when you think about it.
And I know you've known Chris for a long time, Mike. So
well, you know, when someone goes to jail and then they come out of jail, you know, the norm is that they'll go back straight into what they know.
Yeah.
And that's what Chris was doing.
Yeah.
But he's obviously chose not to do that and get himself on the straight and narrow. But not only has he got himself on the straight and narrow, he's also created a business, seen that there's a massive issue within the city to fill that gap, and now is having a massive impact in the space of 14 months.
Yeah.
you know, I've been in business for years,
Yeah.
and to do that is
it's
you know,
unbelievable.
it's unbelievable.
Yeah,
you know, it's
believable.
It's
isn't
believable,
it?
yeah.
You know?
It's not unbelievable. It's believable. So he should be extremely proud of himself.
Yeah. No,
Moving over to the Q&A and all that makes great.
No,
work.
I am proud. People used to always say, people do say to me, "Oh, you must be proud of yourself." And at first, a little bit coy and go, "Oh, it's not just me, it's everyone." But you know what? I really am proud. Yeah. And I've said this before, like the likes of Michael and Dools and yourself and all the great men I've got around me. And I do say I've got some really good women around, but the likes of Mike, the influence he's had on me, and the support he's given me in like the 5 a.m. club and the positivity every morning and watching how he operates, and he's been, you know, I'd say my biggest inspiration. Really has. So like,
I'll give you that score. Like
no, it really has. And I mean, I don't think I could have done what I've done without these men around me.
Yeah, and sometimes you know we do need help, don't we? You know what I mean? And when we've got a support structure of really healthy, you know, generative, mature men around us who are demonstrating these qualities of how to be consistent, how to be disciplined, how to be vigilant, you know, and sometimes, you know, we all have, you know, up and down days, but I feel as if certainly when you're in flow is when you're doing the things that you value, and you've got a great support structure around you. And, you know, talking about the men there, what an inspiring story. Anyone listening to this today, you know, and especially maybe any men who are in jail or have been in jail, like, you know, I've also got personal friends, other friends who've done long, you know, jail sentences, and they've come out and they're actually doing something really great in the world. Amazing. You know what I mean? And to see them want to change, you know, because it's like you're inside and you can't do much, can you, inside, and then to get out and it's like, right, I'm going to make a statement. And thank you for owning your qualities and your gifts there. You know, sometimes modesty's got its place, but it's important that we say, yeah, you know what, I am proud of myself. I have done a good thing, and you're also now a beacon of light and showing other people, you know, ex-criminals as well, that there's definitely another route to take, and it's amazing to see. Thank you for sharing that story so far. I think it's powerful. So Mike, let's lean back into yourself here. Do you know what I mean? You know, you know, you got Chris here, and he's really bigging you up and talking about business, and you know, I suppose it's not always been free flowing for you, has it? And you know, open media, what's that all about?
I'd say for me, it started when I went from a teenager. You know, from a young boy of 12, 13, I've always wanted to be successful. Always wanted to have my own business. I mean, I was okay. I was half decent at football when I was going through my teenage years. But in school and all that, I was you know, I was in bottom sets, and you know, I was a really bad student. I was always messing around, and you know, wanted to be the class clown all the time. The joker. Always wanted to be the boy, but always was like, I want to be successful. Yeah. You know, I was that kid on the playground that would go and buy, you know, Space Raiders out the shop and then selling them on the yard for 20p. And I'd be walking out to school with a tenner or 20 quid. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? Mum's going, what's going on?
Where's this money coming from?
Do you need all that? What's happening? So I was that was my childhood. My childhood through school was that's what I was like. I had a great childhood. It was really good. I've got a sister, and I've got, you know, my mother and father were really supportive of me. And then I think to the age about 16 years of age, it started to become really tough for me. My mum and dad split up. My mum and dad had just got, dad was up to no good. My mum was just a normal worker. She worked like in, you know, just low paid skilled jobs. Low paid jobs, unskilled. You know, like behind the bar, or you know, fruit and veg store, you know, bread store. That was the kind of work that she'd done. But I was always looked after. And at the age of 16, when they split up, I remember having a conversation with my mum and said, lad, you're going to have to, I was about to finish school, she goes, you're going to have to stay on sixth form. I was like, I hate school, mum, I don't want to stay on. She's like, no, you're going to have to, because I get more money allowance for you. And I was like, what's going on here? Yeah. Do you know what I mean? So I was like, all right, I'm going to have to stay on. So I'm going through, what do I want to take? So I just thought, you know, I'll take sport, or I actually took business, actually. And I started to, you know, delve into business studies. Still never done too well, because I think the main reason why I never done well in school is because the people who were teaching me, I couldn't really relate to any of them.
Yeah, wasn't being inspired.
Yeah, I wasn't being inspired, and you know, I was thinking to myself, you know, really, you know, you're telling me about this. The only one who really got inspired on was a woman in food tech, and I got a C on that. That was the only C I got in my GCSEs. So I stayed on, and my mum said you have to stay on because I get money from you. So I stayed on into sixth form. As soon as I got the opportunity to leave, I left. 17, 18, mum come to me and was like, lad, I've got you a job. I've got a job for you. And I was like, okay, where's this, mum? And she's like, yeah, the Royal Mail. And I was like, the Royal Mail? She's like, yeah. And I was like, I don't want to work in the Royal Mail. She's like, it's a job for life. You get a good wage and you can start paying
pension.
Yeah, you can start putting money towards the mortgage and that. And I was like, mortgage? What the fuck's a mortgage? I mean, 17, 18 years of age, like, what's that?
Yeah.
You know, when I go out with my mates and they're all going on holidays, like, either or Corfu and all that, do you know what I mean? Or going on the Garland's boat or something like that. It was like, I want to go there. And she's like, no, got to get into the Royal Mail. So I was like, it was, I'll never forget, it was when CD Walkman's just come out. So I had a CD Walkman, I was in this Royal Mail, Coppers Hill, and their big sacks were coming in, and I was throwing the letters through the pigeonholes, postcode L15, L17. I was getting like half decent at it. And I just, after a week, I was like,
this ain't for me.
This is not for me, this. So I just completely jibbed it. My mum was like, post it, because at them days, they ring up and go, where are you? She'd leave messages on the phone and all that. My mum got one when she come home and was like, they've been on, why haven't you been to work? I was like, Mum, I've jibbed it. She went off her head. And the whole reason was that for that was obviously so I could start contributing to the household, you know what I mean, at 17 years of age, you know what I mean? It was a lot of pressure on my shoulders, so I jibbed that. And I remember seeing my mate in the village, and I said to him, what are you up to? He said, oh, that's a man of fortune in town on the telesales. And I was like, oh, okay. Mm-hmm. So I've come out of school, no education, no GCSEs, no nothing. So it's pretty tough to, and also as well as like, when you're 18, I was always knocking around with a group of people that were a bit older than me, so they had money. Yeah. So I always wanted to be, I want to be out. I want to go here, I want to go there. Can't go for my mum for money because she hasn't got any. Yeah. So like
time was pumping back then, wasn't it? You know, you're out, the 051, all that, yeah.
051, Barsas, the Sefton. You know, they were all
out buying new shirts and that. You
Moschino
know,
ones, just all the big Moschino shines on the back.
That's the cock shoes.
They were the ones, mate. Yeah. They were the ones. Yeah. So I got onto telesales, and that actually shaped me. I learned a lot. You know, it was a really bad industry to be in. Yeah. Cash in hand, you know, there's a lot of bad stuff going on in there. But I grew quite quick.
Speaking to a lot of people, aren't you?
Speaking to a lot of people, you're hammering on the phone, but I mean, the actual environment that you're working in is not good. Yeah. It's not a good environment. When you look back on it,
quite manipulative in it. And...
Yeah, and like everyone's just sharks and stuff. Yeah. But I grew quite quickly in there, and I started in a substantial amount of money at a young age. And again, my mum was like, fucking hell, where's all this money coming from? So I was like, no, Mum, this is what I'm doing. She's like, okay, so I'm helping her, you know, provide for the mortgage, which is great. At this time, it was just me, my mum, my sister in the house then. So I'm providing for the mortgage. And then I save enough money up then to set up my own business, and I'm around about 23, 24. Wow. And I've always been into sales. Like, so the telesales really got me to build my confidence up. I was, you know, you might not think it, but I was lacking in confidence as a teenager and growing up. But that telesales job, that brought the confidence out of me. Yeah. I thought to myself, you know what, I want better. You know, I can do this. I want more. Yeah. I like this lifestyle, but I need to be legit. I need to be proper. Yeah, I love it. So I started up my own company called Open, and it started off as a magazine called Open Mag in Liverpool, and it was a great publication. I'd done it with me mate from school called Robbie May, and he was a designer, and he's a really, really good designer, and he was like, you know, we should come up with something different for the city. So I was like, all right, done a little business plan and all that. We wanted to base ourselves on Vice magazine. Our content was, you know, was very different. It was quite raw. You know, we were doing interviews with like Peter Palachi and all that. Yeah, you know, it was that kind of stuff.
Because he's a famous man in Liverpool.
Him and his carry bag. Yeah, he's everywhere. You might have him on next on this one.
Episode 10.
Yeah. So we started our magazine. And again, you know, as you're starting business, you don't really know what you're doing. You know, people go, "How, you know, what you do?" And I'm like, I don't know. You know, you just as you go along, you learn, and you learn from your failures, and you go, actually, you know what, that didn't work, so we won't do that again. And because you've got, you know, as you're setting up as a startup company, you know, you're on a shoestring, so everything's like dead tight. You know, all your budgets and your outgoings. And so, you know, we successfully established a magazine within the city, and we grew. We were a quarterly publication, and then went to a bi-monthly publication. You know, we had started off with 2, and then at one stage, there was I'd say about 15, 20 people working for us in the office.
Wow.
Some of them were freelance writers, some of them were designers, videographers. So we had a whole host of all different people. And the publication was really good. The content was great. We had a website to back it up. And even people now still say to me, "Oh, you remember
Boss Little magazine,
remember
that,
magazine?"
Yeah.
And we're having all boss interviews with, like, our first one was Rooney, and we'd done that through Joe made that happen for us, and then we had like Russell Brand, we had Keith Lemon. It was great. It was like nice. Really, really good.
Because people want them type of conversations, don't they? Real conversations, real people, raw, authentic, original.
Yeah.
Bit edgy. You know what I mean?
That's what it was, mate. And then we had a website to back it up, so it was good. And our main source of income was through advertising. That's what I've always kept that. As this journey's gone on in my life, I've always had like an advertising is where I've been. I've just adapted the product to it.
Yeah.
And then what happened then is, so it was when social media started to come in, and it was like Facebook, it was Instagram, it was Twitter, maybe 2010. Yeah, 2010.
Yeah, around then, wasn't it?
8, 10. Between 8 and 10 is when it really started coming in, and people started paying, to be Facebook adverts and Twitter posts and Instagram, and all our clients that we were going out to see, they're like, "Mike, our print budget's shrinking, mate. We're channeling our money elsewhere. So we, instead of spending X amount of pounds at your print, I've been told I've got to spend more now on online because we can see a return, we can see impressions." And I was like,
and there's all analytics and all that.
All analytics.
Yeah, you can measure it all, can't you?
Measure it all. There's nothing like that with print, mate. It's it's like, there's an advert. Have you seen it? And that's how it went. And then I was back at the drawing board then. I was like, shit, what am I doing here? What have I got to do?
Where are we going? How do I sustain the business? So we had to, I even regret it now, but we had to completely, reshape the company, because we knew print was dying. Yeah.
And we seen that. I researched that print was declining year on year. And as I was researching that, I noticed that out of home, which is outdoor advertising, is what I specialise in now, was consistently growing year on year. And I thought, 7% a year, I'll have a go with this.
Let's get into this.
So I started researching, seeing that, like, in terms of out of home for the listeners, that's the big digital screens and the likes of JC.co and Global and Prime Site. That's what I'm referring to here. So I started to look into, taxi advertising. I know the old-fashioned taxi wraps.
Yeah.
I thought, why hasn't no one brought over like the idea of like the light boxes on New York or Chicago?
Yeah.
Why isn't no one doing that? And started to delve into that. Thought, you know what?
Something in this.
We're gonna turn this into, instead of being static, we're gonna do digital. And then what we're gonna do is we're gonna build a platform that we can provide adverts based on time, weather, and location.
Nice.
So, for example, a cab goes down Dale Street, Finance District, HSBC there, HSB advert goes up.
Yeah, of course.
If it starts raining, umbrella goes up. If it gets hot, a lot ice. You
course,
you get the gist of it.
Yeah.
So we started to do that, and we brought in a team, and we went out for investment for that. I put every single penny I had, because from the magazine, everything I was writing, it wasn't half-hearted. I was two-footed. I was having a go. Yeah.
Got to take big risks.
Got to. Yeah. So I'd done that. I got a few investors on board. So we had the collateral behind us to get this going. Went to the council, told them what we wanted to do. They were like, "You're crazy, you've got to go through all these research and development tests." And it was about a year and a half before we had to do all them before we can actually get anything on the road. So we got through that and we'd done it. And then we got approval in 8 other cities across the UK. We were the first in the UK to do this, by the way. There was no other company doing it. We were the first in it. We had a patent, we had this, that, the other. And I was like,
yeah, we're going here. We're moving.
We're on track. This is
it.
I've smashed it. You know what I mean? I've cracked it. And at them, I didn't have the mentality I had now. I still thought, you know what, still going out and I just
burning the candle.
Burning the candle both ends. I just had a little baby girl, my first kid, and I was neglecting my family, and I was thinking, I think I'd won. I don't even know who I'd won against, but I thought I'd won before I actually got it and going. So a big lesson learned on that. Anyway, we rolled the taxis out, and it bombed. It completely bombed. We never got the buy-in from the national organisations what we needed. It sold really well locally to like local brands in Liverpool, but for them national campaigns, they just wouldn't buy it.
They weren't having it. And who was you approaching?
And it was the likes of, it was the likes of Nike, it was the likes of, Pizza Express. It was all everything, stuff that's in Liverpool
Costa
1.
Coffee and all that.
Stuff that's in Liverpool 1. So you're trying to get proximity advertising to where the cabs are. It was like Virgin on the train, cabs are in the cab rank up there, makes sense. But they were like, Mike, we like the idea, we really like you as a person and as a business, but you haven't got mass scale in it.
Yeah.
And when I'm hearing these, I'm like, I've put every single penny I've got into this. I can't go back to me family because I took every money I had off them, I've took it and put it in. And then I've spoke to friends and they've put money in. So then you start to become into, it starts to get surreal then. Shit, you're in shit street here.
Yeah, of course.
You start off with this great idea, everyone's behind you, you've got a lump of money that can push you forward, you've got the best financial advisors around you, and then as soon as you start underperforming or the sales are not coming in, I'm like, wow, reality check.
It's not a nice feeling, is it?
Not a nice feeling. And then what happens then is I'm putting pressure on the guy I'm working with, John, who's been with me from day one from the out of home stuff. I start then putting pressure on him, which is not a nice feeling because I'm just getting the pressure that I've got and then emptying it onto someone else.
You're placing it, you're
projecting
it onto others,
on someone else, which was it's a really bad thing to do. You've got people saying, you know what, just go bust, and I'm like, wow, if I go bust here, I'll bankrupt. That's my dreams.
Yeah, and it's also that image in it, that self-image where you feel like...
And you're too scared to go to your mates who you've invested, or you're too scared to tell your family. Don't forget, we're going back from from 17 to at this time I'm around about 28, 27. And I'm still paying me Mars bills. Yeah, they've all got to stop. Yeah, I haven't been taking a wage. I've got the bailiffs knocking at my door. No mortgage are being paid. Yeah, I'm like, what's going on? Wouldn't open up to me bed because I was too scared to do that. Yeah. Didn't want her to see that I was vulnerable. Didn't wanted to show that I was like I'm still the proud man. You know what I mean? I'm the breadwinner, or I'm looking after my family. Yeah. So it got. You
end up wearing a lot of masks, don't you? And then you're getting really entangled.
And then even now, I'm more we think about it. I was more really depressed. Yeah. And the answer to it was I was going out on the ale with my mates. Yeah. And I was thought, I'll just get on
hiding behind the ale.
I'll get on it, I was going out on a Friday, and I do it every Friday, go out on a Friday.
Pushing your problems underneath the carpet.
Just go and get tanked up, and come back home. What would I do? This is shit, I've got no money. I go to the local boozer by Mars, sitting there, like a proper deadbeat, mate. Yeah. But down and out.
And sometimes you've got to go there, haven't you? You've got to visit the darkest place,
and I thought to myself, you know what? I need to get myself together here. I need to start to sort myself out. And this person come into my life, and his name's Paul, and he completely changed my life, because when I've been used to being with a certain group of people, which are still my friends now, I have different priorities. Prioritised. Yeah. So going out, buying all the boss gear, wearing 400 quid shoes, wanting the boss cars, going on all these that I couldn't afford, being in boots, spending money I never had. I thought, wow, that's what you need to do. Yeah. As soon as I met this person, I was like, wow, what kind of life have I been living? And it was just about, he most probably doesn't know it, but he become like more of my mentor. I was looking up to him. He runs a really successful business in Liverpool now, an agency called Agent, and I looked up to Paul, and we become best friends on this journey that we were on. It was great, and I learned a lot about him, and I learned about how he should be respecting women. I learned, because when you're going out with the lads, it all goes out the window.
Absolutely.
Do you know what I mean? All that kind of stuff, being on the air and buttoning in your bed and turning your phone off. It all happens. Everyone does it. We all do it. Yeah. But it was about how you respect women, how you present yourself, how you build a team, how you show true leadership. And I just took little bits away from it. And I thought, I need to sort myself out here. So I started reading. He gave me my first book, The Alchemist. So I started reading that. Lovely book. First book I've ever read. And then after that, it led on to another book. And then another book. And then I got onto one book, and it was called Who Says You Can't, You Do. And it was a book that really challenged me, and it was a great story about a bit like me. Do you know what I mean? Going through the ups and downs of life, and learning to say no, and changing them bad habits. And I started to resonate with it a lot, and it challenged myself. And I thought, time for a change now. Let's get it together.
Lovely.
So that's when these new rituals started to come in place.
Action.
Do you know what I mean? Getting up early. Didn't know where I was getting up early. I never had a car, so I'd go running. Go outside bars and start running around Crocky Park. Feel great when I come back. Come on, Beth, will you take me to work? Yeah, she dropped me in work. All right, what are we going to do? First thing we're going to do, we're taking the taxis off the road. And you know what? Let the ego go.
Yeah, lovely.
Even though I've lost loads of money on it, let it go. Let's drop the taxi.
That's one of the biggest ones, isn't it?
Yeah, because it was hemorrhaging money, and I had people phoning by the minutes. Where's this? Where's that? You know this payment. You know that payment. Let's take it off. You know what? Let's push the ego aside and let's start again. So again, I'm back to the drawing board. So what I did take from the taxis is the failure is I built up some really strong relationships with the council and also with media specialists in London and Liverpool and Manchester. And I said, what do you want to see? You tell me and I will make it happen. And they were like, we want to see large format, we want to see banners. So I went back to the council. Bit like where Chris was, I had a good relationship with Joe Anderson because of the taxis. Yeah. And he was behind the project because we were putting so much money back into the black hackney trade. So he was right behind us. So I said, Joe, listen, we're in shit. We're about a month here before
it's going tip top.
Yeah, what can we do? And he said, speak to them. Anyway, we got our first banner, which was on Victoria Street through a private landlord. And after we delivered on that, the council said to us, we've got another opportunity here outside the Lime Street. And then after delivering on that, so these are big banner wraps like you see on scaffoldings. So after delivering on that, the council come to us and said, Mike, you know what? We're really pleased with how you're performing. We've got an opportunity on Victoria Street, which is for the digital screen. We'll pay for the infrastructure. You just come in as a media operator, and we want X amount of pounds. You help it, you and then you have whatever. And I thought, you know what? Great, first digital screen. This is us. Here we go. And then it's just obviously catapulted from there. You know, from there we've been in a position then to fund our own screens, and you know that was in 2000 the end of 2017 we got our first digital screen. You know, we're 2020 now in March, and you know we've got 12 screens across the UK. Wow. We'll have 22 by the end of this year. We're in cities like Liverpool, Manchester, London, Sheffield, Plymouth, soon to be in Hull. You know, we're going to strengthen our portfolio in Liverpool, and it's fantastic. But I mean, it's going back to them failures that I've had. Yeah, that's where it's a big teacher of ours. Yeah, massive teacher, and that's where I believe is where the magic and the growth happens. And it's so easy to fall into them places. But I think what's important for me is, you know, them ultimate mornings that we talked about before. You know, some people go, getting up at 4 o'clock, you're mad, or getting up at 5 o'clock, you're crazy, what are you doing? But for me, what I find they do for me is, they bat away the bad thoughts, because we've all got thoughts inside, we've all got the bad thoughts inside us, and they're like weeds, do you know what I mean? You know, they will eventually, they'll take over. But what you need to do is, if you've got a good routine that keeps them away, that's what you do, and that's what my routine is. My routine is to keep them at distance. And use positive, creative, insightful thoughts that are useful to your life, to your endeavours, to your professional endeavours, and to act on them. Yeah, and that's it, and that's what has really worked well for me. I'm getting carried away there. So yeah, wow. So 2020 we're here now, and you know the brands that we're working with now, you know, are the likes of Nike, you know, are the likes of Google, are the likes of JD Sports. You know, we've got amazing relationships with them, and you know, we're the first media owner in Liverpool to be doing this kind of thing. You know, we in terms of our team, you know, it's not like we've come in and we've brought the best people from the industry. We haven't done that. You know, I'm a massive believer in people and leadership, and you know, for me, is how we recruit is purely based on you as a person. I'm not interested in what's on the CV. You know, I see people come to me with the best CV and can't hold a conversation. Yeah, of course. No good to me that. Yeah. I'm into people who've got the soft skills, and them soft skills are ambition, drive. You know, it's all that's what, you know, the courage, you know, desire, you know, the want, someone who wants to work. Infused. Yeah. You know, you look at my team, they're all from different backgrounds. You know, one used to work at a bar, you know, the other one used to work at a restaurant, and you know, so it's they're all come from different backgrounds. You know, they're quite a young team. You know, and at the moment, everyone says to me, "How have you done it? How have you done it?" And I go, "No, with no danger. Our biggest asset is our people."
Yeah, absolutely. It's the team. You're not as good as your team, aren't you?
That's it. You know, and we're all singing from the same hymn sheet. You know, they know where the company's going. My communication is key within the business. Clean. Everyone knows. And a bit like where Chris said before, and is what I'm trying to do and what I do on a daily basis. Now I've got more resources and time to do that. Is I'm creating a work environment where people can feel naturally comfortable.
Yeah.
And if they've got a problem, they can hold hand up and go, "Mike, listen, I'm stuck on this."
Yeah.
Or, "Mike, I'm having an issue at home," or and can pull me aside and have them conversations. It's when people aren't having them conversations is they come in, they start lying about the jobs, the work's not getting done properly. So it's important for me as a leader, as a business, is to create that work environment. And that's how I believe that we're doing what we're doing. Is we've got a good work environment there, we've got a good culture, and the people are thriving, you know, the productivity's through the roof, and you know, the world's our oyster, kind of thing.
It's beautiful story. Thank you for sharing that. You know, I mean, being able to listen to that, and anyone who's listened to that today, you know, we've got two fellas here, normal fellas from Liverpool, you know, with incredible stories to tell, and that natural leadership, you know, when you're talking about these characteristic traits, you know, rather than actually seeing what the credentials are, it's like, show me you as a person, and then you're able to just mould these people because you know what they're capable of. You know, but to have that container in the workplace of safety and trust, you know, I think that's a big one. You know what I mean? When someone's coming into work, they feel safe, they feel like they're being heard, they're being listened to, and they feel equal, then the sky's the limit and beyond, isn't it? Like,
Sure,
you know what I mean?
It sure is. And you know, it's actually a really joyful place to come in. You know, everyone's buzzing off each other. We're currently working on a campaign at the moment for International Women's Day, and you know, everyone's played a huge part in getting it out there and making it happen, and we've done it on a short time period, and the feedback that we're getting now is just like,
it's next level.
That's what it's
a
about.
joy to go into work, isn't it? You know,
I saw quite a lot off Mike as well. Like the main thing is investing in people, investing in your staff. Like obviously we're a lot small operation at the minute than Michael is, but like you've got to invest in your staff. You've got to invest in these people because they all everything together.
They're your team, aren't they?
Yeah, of course.
You know, when you got great people around you, like, and the buying into your ethos, aren't they? You know what I mean? And you've got shared values. By the sounds of it, like, you know, the business it's got its own sort of, it's its own organism, isn't it? It's got its own spirit, and you just, you know, you're the gatekeeper, you're the caretaker, and you're just holding space.
Yeah, that's it. I mean, I'll always put people over profit, and even though profitability is so important to a company, I'm not saying it needs to be like 70% people and 30% profit. It could be 51% people, and 49% profit. But when you come to make them, you know, really tough decisions, I always put people first. Do you know what I mean? And I'll always put Will first. Do you know what I mean? It's them things, and you know, if you can lead with the, you know, empathy and kindness,
compassion and
all that, you know, you just them for having a really good business.
It becomes a win-win formula from my perspective. You know what I mean? And I know I've been really fortunate to come in and meet the team, you know, last year, and we're going to be going on a bit of a journey, aren't we?
We are,
you know,
shortly,
you've
when we get in the new space,
absolutely. You get, you know, you're moving offices, you got a new space, and you know, we're going to be doing some internal, you know, personal developments, you know, meditation. And I know you've been diving into that yourself. You know, for a number of years, but recently, you know, as we've got to know each other, and you've been exploring the work I offer here in Liverpool. How's that been for you?
Yeah, so I mean, everyone keeps saying to me, "Do you know Martin Bone? Do you know Martin Bone?" I'm like, no. And I think it was our friend James introduced us and said, "My mate was looking to develop an app." Everyone just thinks, "Oh, marketing, just go to Mike." But really, I only specialise in outdoor advertising. But everyone just comes to me, "Oh yeah, Mike Smith, white websites, Mike Smith apps." So I just get inundated with all these requests. So I think we met for a cup of tea.
We did, yeah.
And I thought to myself, after I finished the meeting, I thought, wow, what a human, what a person. You know, there's a few times when you meet somebody and you actually go, wow, he knows his shit, him.
Yeah.
And that was one of the times when I met you, and I thought to myself, so I started to ask Jay, well, you know, Martin? He's like, yeah, he does these meditation stuff. And someone else going to me, do you know Martin Bone? I'm like, no. And then I just come across, I thought, you know what, I'm gonna book this. I'm gonna book level 1. We'd obviously, you know, met a couple of times.
Yeah, we'd had a couple of little soft drinks here, didn't we?
Duke Street Market or wherever. And thought to myself, you know what, I'm gonna have a go with this. So I done my level 1. We come along with my mate Matthew, who brought with me. And then loved it. It was great. It was a great space, great group of people. And one of the things, the reason why I wanted to do the meditation, because all the stuff that I'd read on like self-help and self-development, and you know, that meditation was kept on cropping up in them books, keeps on cropping up. It's so important to, you know, have self-awareness and, you know, be present. And, you know, as you talk about, Mart, it's like, we can always say, we can be there, but we're not actually there.
Yeah.
And when you were telling me that, I was like, bloody hell, I do that a lot to people. Yeah. I'm like, yeah, just get it done. Or I'm like, oh, all right, baby, all right, Beth, yeah, let's do it.
But really tuning in,
really, I'm not there. Do you know what I mean? So it's taught me a lot to be present, to be aware, and to listen.
Yeah.
And then I loved level 1, and then I was like, you know what, give me some more of that. I went on straight onto level 2 then, and I was a bit gutted because I had to miss level 2 because the last 2 sessions I went and done.
You were busy.
Went and done my pole and stuff.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, that's right.
When I moved on to my pole, but again, yeah, thanks a lot, because meditation now is part of my daily ritual.
Yeah.
And I think the way you hold the space, and I think that the way you teach is great, and that's why I've offered you to come in and do that with the team. And just for people who've never been with Martin before or had any teachings with him before, he just breaks it down really well. And his program is really well and structured. It's just something that you can learn, you can pick it up.
Yeah.
I mean, I've bumped into people that, you know, no disrespect to anyone, but it's like, oh, they're on a completely different wavelength than me. And I'm like, wow, I can't relate to that person.
Yeah.
I'm not going to be able to learn from them.
Yeah.
But with you, it's a completely different.
Yeah. Thank you for passing them compliments there. And I think the one thing for me is I've really come to this place where I'm just being myself, you know what I mean? And I, you know, every time I sit in you know, here at Planet Yoga and sharing the work, it gets better every time.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But I think as well, people just want, I'm just a normal fella, you know what I mean, from Liverpool, just like yourselves, on you know, a quest, you know, my own journey, and I'm buzzing off it really as well, you know, having a good buzz, you know, it's dead informal in the groups, isn't it? You know, we have a laugh, and a lot of normal people coming, you know, to the studio, you know, it's for everyone really, anyone can meditate, it's a big mantra of mine, and when I get normal blokes like yourselves who come along, dive into the work, it's been, it's a dream come true really, you know what I mean? I know, Chris, you've just completed your level 2 recently, having, you know, done a journey with your own meditative practice, you know, with a girl in Highton,
that's right, yeah.
Katie Scott.
Katie, yeah. She's Katie and her sister, they introduced me to meditation back more or less when I was come home. They were involved in holiday hunger from the start, and I done Katie's mindfulness course, which was really set me on the path. And
nice foundation.
Yeah, it was nice. It was nice, and they always recommended me to go. You need to do Martin's course. And I think I actually did book on the level 1, and I checked in with you, and I think
it wasn't the right time.
I said, look, I'm really busy. I don't want to be letting you down and not being able to come. And I didn't ever do the level 1. I done a couple of one-on-ones with you in here.
Right.
And then I said, look, I'm all right to come straight on the level 2. You went, yeah, you're fine. So I was sort of, I delved straight into the level 2, which was phenomenal. I took a lot. My practice has been strong the last year, but working with you, especially the one-on-one bits, really anchored them little niggles you had of am I doing something right?
Yeah.
You know,
deeper understanding.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
Made it dead simple.
Yeah, totally. And it's opened a lot of doors for me, particularly I told you, I shared it in the level 2, me little afternoons. I loved them. I got home from work like 2 o'clock and no one's in the house.
Yeah.
And I have a little 45 minutes, an hour time just me. There's no one there, they're quiet, and that's it.
Really nourishing, innit?
Oh yeah. I love it.
You know,
I make excuses to get off from work now to pay home.
But you know, I think
come in and the Ruben comes in from school and he'll go, and the cushions will be on the floor by the couch, and go, If you're meditating, that'll go, yeah.
And you've had a nice strong practice for it, about a year now, haven't you? And it's playing a big part in your evolution, isn't it?
As Mike said, it's all the books we read. I've been to see Dr. Joe Dispenza in a workshop in London, and meditation is the key to everything. Everyone you read about, all the podcasts we watch, all the YouTube videos, all the books we read, the common denominator in it all is meditation. And as Mike said, you're the main man. Other people that do, whole meditation practices, and I'm sure they are good, but I think what you do here makes it so special.
Thank you. And it is, I will own, I think I'm just really good at delivery, but I also have to, for anyone listening here, I have been on a meditative journey for a very long time. I started meditating in about 2010, so I have been at it for like 10 years, and I've explored all different modalities over a period of time, and really started to engage in the practice around 2014. I went on my first 10-day silent retreat, a Vipassana retreat in Hereford, and then just thousands and thousands of personal practice, at home, alongside psychedelics, alongside a lot of yoga, and then having explored 6 or 7 10-day silent retreats since then, and going to Mexico and spending 90 days in a meditation school, having listened to thousands of hours of hundreds of hours of stories and podcasts on spirituality, meditation, human behavior, chewed up all the books over a period of time, and I thought I've got a pretty impressive understanding, coupled with my own direct experience, and I don't spit out anything that I haven't tasted myself, you know what I mean, and I think that's the key here. I've had a lot of direct experience, but I make it really fun, make it digestible, we're just having a laugh, you know what I mean, and I feel like I've become a bit of a comedian as well, you know what I mean, in the group. But that's what it's all about. It's not just about the education. It's giving people the tools, not just to meditate, 10 or 15 minutes of a morning, but really to weave it into your day-to-day life situations. That's where the magic is, isn't it?
Definitely,
when you're making skilled choices, when you're present with people, these are the gifts that go unnoticed, and sometimes we can be on like this autopilot. We get through our days and when we're not really capturing the moments, are we? You know what I mean? And when we start to feel into the spectrum of awareness, and it is the key, and you become a lot more aware of your life and the people in front of you and the moment that you're in, and also aware of the thoughts that that you're entertaining, and the behaviour that may be playing out unconsciously. You get to notice some of the patterns of habit, and by doing that, you're reprogramming yourself. You know what I mean? You're upgrading. So it's great for me to teach, and it's such a pleasure to have like fellas like yourselves who are on a lovely quest, lovely journey, but diving into the practice, and it's just expanding. Everyone's like, it's a buzzword now, isn't it? Mindfulness, self-development, self-care. It's alive in the city now, isn't it?
You've got to be on that self-development. You can't just stand still. If you stand still, you stagnate, and I think that's why I'm always trying to do, and I know you are, Mike, you're always trying to upgrade and always trying to level up. And it's the only way to go. Yeah, and
we've got a container of men, haven't we? So let's just welcome in that conversation. We're in a group, aren't we, called the 3%? Yeah. And there's probably about 30 men in it now, isn't there? And,
there's about 30 odd.
And there's just an eclectic gang of fellas, from all walks of life, but got a real there's a universal feel to it, isn't it? Of connection. Brotherhood.
That exactly. Good brotherhood, and I think that's where my excursion in Poland all stemmed from. Obviously being part of this group and getting invited to go. So yeah, I mean the group's great. It's good motivational stuff, and we catch up every fortnight. So just good to be around them like-minded people.
I'm gutted I couldn't come to Poland, but obviously for reasons out of my control, I'm not allowed to leave the country just yet. But me and Mike done a bit of training beforehand.
I know Mike's talking about the journey he's just recently been on with a pretty extraordinary he's pretty famous now, isn't he? I think he's a well-known all over the world. He's the main man, the Iceman, Wim Hof. And you've just been with him in Poland. Was it 5 days? Was it, Mike?
Yeah, so we would it was I told me missus it was 5 days, but it was actually a week. I didn't know, and she got pretty upset with me. I was like, yeah, I'm just booking this excursion. Actually, didn't tell her till probably about a couple of weeks before. So I got asked to go from my mate Mark, and he said to me, "Do you fancy this?" And I thought, you know what, let's do it.
Yeah,
you know, experience. I'm in. Let's do it.
Big yes.
And I thought this year, you know, let's make more experiences.
Yeah.
Because that's what
where the growth is.
That's where the growth is. But again, growth is, that's where the development is. I thought, you know what, let's do more experiences. So we booked it in August. It quickly come around in the end of January 2020, and as Chris said, it's I think only around about December, or might have even been the start of January. I started, you know what, I need to
prepare for this.
I need to train for this. So I looked online and seen what they were doing, and they like ice baths and, you know, jumping in rivers, and, you know, there was a 6-hour hike with just your shorts on. I'm like, wow, this is intense. This is heavy. Yeah. So I said to the, come on, we'll start it. So we, with Mark, we do a little, we do a few little walks. With Chris again, I've been doing we were doing Sefton Park, whipping the gear off at 4 or 5 o'clock in the mornings, walking around with a pair of shorts on. People are looking at us like this, what's going on? I started doing a few then on my own down the waterfront, and so I'm just 4 o'clock. I thought, no one's going to be out here 4 o'clock in the morning. So I'm down there, shorts on, my hat and my gloves, 30-minute walk, and I didn't do this like Thursday morning, going into Thursday morning. So as I'm walking up, I'm thinking, oh, no way. There was only about 5 or 10, no, it's about 5 fellas fishing. And I went, oh, what forgot? I can't turn around, you know. And they're just looking at me going, like from a distance, what is going on here? So I'm just walking like that out the waterfront, and he goes, "You okay, mate?" And I go, "Yes, and he goes, you know, that's it. That was it. Walk back. The next day, they're there again. "You're okay? What are you doing, mate? You know, why have you got your top off? It's like 4 o'clock in the morning. It's freezing. The wind smashes. They're standing there with all like the big house stuff and all that on." So anyway, I explained what I was doing, and you're like, "Oh, great," you know what I mean? Brilliant. So I started seeing them frequently, and they were just like, "All right, Mike, you okay?"
Mike over me.
Yeah. So that was fun. And then when we got to Poland, like the reason why I signed up for it, because I thought to myself, I want to go here and I want to be able to test myself as a person, mentally and physically. You know, they're the two things that I want to take away from it. And I thought to myself, yeah, you know, being in the cold, I'm not really a big fan of the cold. No one really is, are they? So I thought, I'll go and do it. So it was a week. It was 5 days in the Wim Hof retreat, and then like a day and a half traveling, because we had to fly into Prague and then drive to Poland. So when we got there was 100 people. We got split into 4 groups. So they're about 25, 26 per group. And they was all, the group of people were from all different walks of life. You know, there was people there from South Africa, there was people there from Venezuela, Spain, you know, Italy, you know, all over the world, right? Basically, America. And then I went with these five lads and myself. So there was 6 scouts in our group. And it was great. From start to finish, it was unbelievable. It was the best experience I've ever had, best money I've ever spent it as well. But the biggest thing that I took away from it was, you know, we'd done all the ice challenges. You know, we got in the water from 2 minutes right up to, you know, at the 5th day we were doing 10 minutes in the river. We ended up doing a 6-hour hike. You know, 3 hours up with no top on. It was, you know, and then 3 hours down. We're talking here -14.
Wow.
Know? And it was very controlled. You know, there was a couple of instructors there, you know, telling us what to do and how to warm up when we get out of the water. But the biggest lesson that I took away was, I couldn't believe how strong a bond of a group of people that didn't know each other.
Yeah.
And the love that was there was unconditional.
Wow.
It was amazing. And these people, you know, there was people there who were suffering from depression. There's people there who tried to commit suicide. You know, these are people that were all coming from really traumatic life and traumatic background. And now we're just there trying to test ourselves, you know, and like, you're like, wow, you know, in the other groups when Wim Hof's speaking, there's people there with cancer, and, you know, people there with, you know, Alzheimer's and all these, you know, cerebral palsy, all these diseases, and they're practicing these methods. But in terms of the group that we built and the bond that we built was just unbelievable. And it's been a life experience and change for me, because since I've been back now, you know, I've been able to channel that energy into, you know, being a parent, you know, being a partner, you know, being a businessman, being a friend, you know, being able to bring this back home me and just be open as possible. Because I think one of the things that I notice is when you're from Liverpool, you're constantly with your guard up, and it doesn't matter how much meditation you're doing, or you constantly, or not meditation, but how much you've got this you've constantly got this persona and guard
bravado, this shield.
And going to that, mate, I felt like I was back in primary school again. I felt like I was in Colomendy. I was just open. I was hugging and loving people I've never met before. You know, I was creating this bond with a group of people that I didn't know from Adam. You know, it was special. It was really, really special. And since I've come back, I've done my best to keep that open.
Yeah, lovely.
Do you know what I mean? So that's how I want to continue my journey now, is just keeping that open as much as possible. Not thinking what other people think, and just trying to be the best person I can and help other people along their way. But I fully recommend, if anyone can get the opportunity to go over there and do his methods, go and do it.
Yeah, it's money well spent, isn't it? It's an internal investment.
Internal investment in me, and it's just, again, just value. You know, he's the man, the best man in the world is there. He's teaching you. Yeah. You know, and he's walking around with his children and his kids, and you're like, wow, this is surreal. You know, he's coming out, sitting down next to you, having lunch with you and tea with you. You know, putting you in the water, showing you how to do the horse dance and all that. Wow. You know, if you get an opportunity, watch you on there.
And it's lovely, like, you know, I think vulnerability, it's encoded in us, and to be open and connected in that way. And I know we've had a brief conversation, and there was a lot of tears coming up for you, wasn't there, you know? Definitely.
You know, for me, there was, in the room, you'd start off with a breathing session every morning, from 8 for an hour, from 8 till 9. And it was intense breathing. I never really got no traumatic tears. Mine were all joy. Mine were all joyful tears. Like, there was people within the group that were traumatic tears, but mine were really tears of joy and happiness. And I was, you know, I could see things in the future of my children graduating, and, you know, me and my family and my missus, and you know, it was all really, really
good stuff.
Nice, good stuff.
Because the power in the breath, it's a container, isn't it? You know, and for anyone listening today, you know, we can release trauma just through breath work, you know, and I know Wim Hof's got his method. And it very much comes from also, you know, ancient pranayama techniques, yogic techniques. You know, there used to be, I think it was there's a breath technique called sumo, you know, and they used to use very similar methods in freezing cold conditions. You know, it was initiation for the monks. Okay. You know, these young monks, they'd put like freezing cold...
inside themselves?
Yeah, freezing cold sheets with water on top of them, and through internally, you know, creating fire and you know, these power breath techniques, you'd have to get the sheets dry, you know what I mean? And like, you know, the monks in Tibet and all that, and incredible stories, you know, telling. And I know there's a massive movement on the planet now with holotropic breath work, you know, and it's really making a movement and a lot of healing, isn't it? You know, we've all got trauma stored inside of us, and obviously you were witnessing firsthand your own experiences, but obviously the experiences of other people, they store this stuff inside of themselves, and just through some powerful breathwork techniques, you know, facilitated by some really you know, wonderful facilitators holding the space, stuff comes up, like, and it was a great experience for me. Yeah. And you mentioned there as well, you know, you come back and you're not so worried about what other people are thinking. It's such a disease, that, isn't it, when most people, they're worrying about what other people are thinking, and it takes us away. That's where the masks come from, you know. That's where we put shields up. That's where we, you know, the ego comes out, you know, the bravado, and it's just projecting a false image, I suppose, aren't we? Definitely, mate. I mean, 1,000,000%. It goes back to my story when I was having them failures. It's like, you know, I was putting on a mask to say it's all okay. You know, I'm still doing fine, and, you know, still going out with the lads, but really deep down it's not. And it's, you know what? Again, it's good to open up to people. Absolutely. And that's again where
something that you've done really well, Mark, with the meditation is that you keep in touch with people, keep checking in with people, and it's again, if something's on the mind, I think you've built up a really good relationship with each individual that comes on, where if they are having a hard time, then they know that they're only a text away from you or a phone call. And again, that's the kind of things that you want to be doing.
And there's a big fellowship, isn't there, now as well? There's a WhatsApp group. We meet occasionally. We go for walks. We go up Movama. We've done some night walks. We get together. We eat food, and we've had a couple of good nights out last year. With a big Christmas night out, didn't we?
I'm looking at the size of the group today. There's like 200 odd people now. So I'm thinking, Jenny's bar going to be big enough?
Well, I think I'm planning on having a nice get together on Easter Sunday, actually. The 12th of April 2020, upstairs in Hannah's Bar. It's a nice bar, and people just really look forward to getting together. There's a lot of really lovely people, and my ethos is bringing people together. Mike, your whole story here about being in Poland, the connection to others, it's invaluable, in it, you know what I mean? When you really feel authentic connection to other people, and you're exploring vulnerability and love and unconditional presence. It's like, these are the tools that if we can really apply day to day, moment to moment life situations, for me, you're a wealthy man. You're a wealthy woman,
I'll just tell you a quick thing is, since I've been coming home and taking the kids to school, and we drive to school now, and I'm going, today is great. I'm going to have a great day. Today is great. So we've got them saying that in the car today. Pumped up, ready to go. My little lad's only 5, so he's like, yes, Dad, yes. My daughter's like 9, nearly 10, and she's going. So when they get in the playground, I go, champ, today is great. I'm going to have a great day. So they go, Ali's going, yes. And the little girl's going, no, Dad, stop it. Everyone in the playground's looking at me like that, and I'm going, yes. She's going, Dad, please.
But there's that almost not giving a fuck.
You just don't care, mate. I just don't care, do you know what I mean? Yeah. And if it makes them happy, well, it makes me that lad happy.
Yeah.
And every time in the car now, he goes, Dad, please shout in the playground. Before we get out. And I go, I will do. But it's great.
People follow it, don't they? You know what I mean? People, I think it only takes 1 or 2 to be vulnerable. You know what I mean? And to really step outside, the indoctrinated way of being, I suppose, and let go of these old paradigms, and fist pumping the air and getting into the world and having these ultimate morning programs and coming together as men and crying. It's okay for men to cry. I think there's such this stigma of that men don't cry, but we've got a tight group. Not just with the 3%, but we've all got our own individual friends and family that we all tap into, and it's what a life, and you're just open, and every day's a holiday, isn't it, really? And
of course,
you're changing your perceptions, and you're letting go of a lot of stuff. And I just love how you really checked in your ego, especially when you felt like stuff was happening for you with the business, and you took a good look at yourself, but you used that as a springboard, and look where you are today. You sit here and sharing your story and all your endeavours, and it's like it just sounds like it's going from strength to strength. And I really appreciate sharing your story, because this is what it's all about. I think when we share our stories, people want to hear real stories with real people, don't they?
A lot of that. I've known Mike since he was like 10. Yeah. A little younger, maybe. Yeah. Knocking golf balls on a Bill Shankly. I'm a couple of years older than Mike. I used to, I've been friends with him for a while, and I didn't know none of that about, I always seen you as your mum had a few quid, and that exposing that then about having paid them out. I didn't know that.
Yeah, I mean, that's the smoke and mirrors, isn't it?
That's the mask, isn't it?
Yeah.
That's the mask, yeah.
And that's the juice that people need to hear today.
And that's what a lot of people are doing in the city. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Putting the kids in, the best fucking designer clothes and doing this and doing that. And that's what it is. But really, you just need to have a good check in with yourself and think, actually, where's this going? Where's it going to get me?
I'm so stripped back now compared to what I used to be with designer clothes and stuff like that. I don't own anything like that. I in fact, I had a few pair of trainees, so I sold them all on eBay. I just doesn't appeal to me anymore. All that seeing it birds and I've been invited to go to this cage fighting thing on Saturday, and all my friends and a bird and all. I'm not going. I'd rather. I'm looking more forward to the fellowship night.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's just our values.
Not against me. I had a circle of friends, I used to be and stuff like that, but it doesn't nourish me anymore.
Yeah.
It really doesn't. I don't get nothing from it, and it doesn't fit where I'm going to
Yeah,
at the moment.
absolutely. And, you're weaving your own web and, you're making your own decisions and you're following your own dreams, which is really important. And I think that is a measure of a king of leadership, where you're following your own dreams. You know what lights you up and you're placing your attention in the areas.
That ability to say no, like you just said as well, massive. I was always a yes man, always. And I think now I'm learning to be a lot more truthful. Something I've always struggled with, where I thought I have been a bit untruthful with things.
It's not easy to tell the truth, is it?
No, it's very hard, and I'm getting better at it. I'm not quite. I'm a lot of things I'm owning, but I think and the ability to say no, it was ruthless. I just go, yeah, it's no problem, and I'm walking, and I go, why have I just done that?
Yeah, to speak your truth is a big one, and you're both talking about here is taking ownership. You just said, owning it, taking responsibility, and these, for anyone out there who's wearing a mask, just to understand that you may be not even aware that you're wearing a mask.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And, a lot of these unconscious behaviours, and it's a question to consider is, what are the motivations behind your actions? You know what I mean? And I think when we maybe ask a few deeper questions and contemplate a little bit about our lives and take a little look in the mirror, some of it's quite ugly and it's a taboo subject, but it's definitely worth it, isn't it? You know what I mean?
Not half,
yeah. What's next for you then, Chris, moving forward?
We're just going to be opening this restaurant in town. It should be a little bit more, a lot more upmarket than what we're doing now. I think there's 80 covers in there. Like alcohol license, morning, afternoon, evening menu, and just expanding holiday hunger and generate as much money as we can as possible to go back in the kitty to make a difference.
Yeah,
that's what it's all about. And I've got loads of ideas where I want to be taking it this year, but don't want to get too ahead of myself. But then the side of the coin, I dream as big as I can.
Yeah,
and I've got visions of opening these restaurants in every inner city area across the country. Wow. And just our model is so simple that we'll make our own money to solve this problem.
Yeah.
That's it. We don't need national lottery money. We don't need children in need money. We don't need to, like other charities do, rely on these foundations to keep your funds sustainable. Yeah. There's no one on big 200 grand a year salaries and stuff like that. Just that simple.
These simple models, man.
Yeah.
I was watching something on YouTube or something popped up on Facebook, I think, a few days ago, and it was about this young entrepreneur, an Indian fella.
Seen it, yeah, with the hotels.
That's right, yeah. And a couple of years ago, about 5 or 6 years ago, he's
a billionaire now, isn't he?
Yeah, he's a billionaire, you know what I mean? And his method's really simple, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, and it was funny because where I live, up by Garston, one of the old pubs is actually, it is, you know what I mean? It's his name, what's it, Oho or something, or something like that.
Wow.
Really,
I've seen it, I've seen it.
Inspiring stuff, so, yeah.
More of the same, more... get this over the line next couple of weeks. Get cracking on it, and it's so. If you say this, oh, it's mad, but it's not mad. It's mind blowing that like me and Mike have been friends for so long, and we're going to be sharing office space, one in the Q&R building and one in the Live building next door to there. How could you have wrote that on a bit of paper 20 years ago? You could
definitely be in for our lunch, mate, won't we?
Oh yeah.
That's brilliant. And having fun in the process, Chris. I love hanging around. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
We're always having fun. And
we have a laugh, don't we,
we have a laugh, mate. And you've always got a smile on your face. And
I'm so happy. I really am. I wake up every morning, and even if I've had a bad day the day before, I just make myself smile and happy, and I'm driving to work and I'm smiling, and I'm in a great place.
I also think your perceptions are changing. It's for anyone tuning in here. There is no good or bad days really. They're just days, and it's how you see them. And I know I'd like to think that really it's an opportunity to build character. It's a character building day. You know what I mean? And when we look at that side of the coin, then we're designing a win-win life, and we're also designing life to be world class. And to move into that top 3%, top 1%, in being awesome. Mike, what's next for you then, bro?
Business wise, just continue to grow the brand. As Chris just touched on there, we're just about to do a big move into the Royal Liver building, which is a very proud moment for me. Grow the team, so we're just about to bring someone else on in London, so we'll grow our team in London. and grow our portfolio with our locations. For me personally, just keep on learning, you know, still a student, you know, take as many experiences as possible, take many opportunities as I can, and just keep on investing in myself, really.
Yeah,
so to help others and help my family and
lovely.
Continue to grow.
That service to the world's a big one, isn't it? And when that comes alive in your life, when you want to serve others, you know, not just your family, but you know, your professional endeavours, and it's expansive, and you know it's limitless, then there's the potential is vast, isn't it?
That's where I get the biggest buzz from, is helping others.
Yeah,
it's quite selfish, really. But
that's
where I get the
I
biggest
can
buzz
resonate with that, because when I started off on this, I never ever once thought I would make me feel helping other people. And like,
what you must get it. You obviously help thousands.
It's like you sort of. I really got the biggest moment I ever got from it was the very first one we done on a Christmas Eve. We had 15 children, as I said. We done a big whip round for toys. It's just not this Christmas, the Christmas before, and none of the kids turned up to the cafe. So there was me, Dooley, another friend of mine, Laura. We were in the van dropping the presents off on Christmas Eve to these houses, and you had nothing. And the feeling I got that day
was next level.
Wow, it was just mind blowing. Dools was just in the
pure
van with
ecstasy,
beanie hat on, just smiling. It was just amazing. And since then, the people who come and help us, they get that little bit of that little taste, that feeling. It's getting bigger and bigger.
Lovely. Okay, so you know we're going to be rounding this off here, and is there any books that you're reading that you'd recommend for a listener to be tapping into at the moment, or any last words, you know, of inspiration?
Yeah. So I'm reading at the moment, reading a book by Simon Sinek, called The Infinite Game. That's really good. Books that I've read in the past. I read a book by Malcolm Gladwell called Outliers, which is really good about mindset.
Yeah,
that's a strong book to read. Definitely Who Says You Can't, You Do. It's a good book to read.
You ended up getting a shout out, didn't you?
I did, yeah. I actually wrote into the author and told him about my story, and he published it. He was doing a redesign of his old book, same book but just a bit of a redesign, and he published it as a testimonial in his book.
Lovely.
So if you get that, you'll see Mike from Liverpool.
I'm actually on that again. I'm on my second time round reading that now. I've read it once and midway through it again.
And any last word to listeners is, you know what, just don't be scared. Don't be scared to fail. You know, that's where it happens. You know, if you're failing, then, well, if you're not failing, then you're not trying.
Yeah, lovely. Big advice, Chris.
Yeah, I'm just, as I say, I'm on my second reading of that book, Mike. Who Says You Can't, You Do. Just be nice to people, keep smiling, and the magic will happen.
Yeah,
you know, just if you can just have them values, just smile, be nice to people, and just don't take nothing too serious. Don't worry, just have a laugh.
Absolutely. I look forward to laughing and smiling. You know what I mean? And you know, I think playfulness is it's such a lovely attitude, isn't it? And when you're in the world, you're playful, you're soft, you're open, you're vulnerable.
Love's the key.
Love's the one. You know what I mean? It is the answer, and love knows what to do. Actually, we don't have to try to love. You know what I mean? I think when you work on yourself and you let go and you surrender, love just happens. You know, it's a feeling tone. It's a transmission that just weaves its way through life. You know, and the people around you. So it's so thank you for sharing that, lads, fellas, men. It's been a really wonderful conversation there, and anyone feeling into this today. You know, I've been completely inspired by these two men, and I am always inspired by these fellas. They hold a great space in Liverpool. They're doing a great job in all walks of life. And I really hope that, you're inspired, listening to these conversations. And these lads are just normal fellas, ordinary men doing extraordinary things. And it's been a pleasure to have you both here, so thank you so much, and I wish you all the best for the future.
Thanks a lot, Matt.
Yeah.
Thanks for having us, mate.
Good luck, mate.
Bye for now. Creating Space is sponsored by the Scouse Guru app, an all-purpose meditation app that feeds into all your needs, developing peace of mind, increasing mental focus, lowering stress levels while discovering inner stillness, awakening your potential and educating you on all matters related to human behaviour and personal development. Download the app for free on the App Store or get it on Google Play today.